The great Euphrates River is one of the most beautiful and ancient natural wonders of the world. Being part of recorded history for thousands of years, it has played a significant part in religion and politics. But in recent years, it has begun to dry. And they don't understand why. Join me and welcome to Tales from the Den. The Euphrates is the longest and one of the most historically important rivers of Western Asia. Together with the Tigris, it is one of the two defining rivers of Mesopotamia. Originating in Turkey, the Euphrates flows through Syria and Iraq to join the Tigris in the Shatt al-Arab, which empties into the Persian Gulf. The Euphrates receives most of its water in the form of rainfall and melting snow, resulting in peak volumes during the months of April through May. Discharge in these 2 months accounts for 36% of the total annual discharge of the Euphrates River, or even 60 to 70% according to one source, while low runoff occurs in the summer and autumn months. After World War I, the borders in Southwest Asia were redrawn in the Treaty of Lausanne in 1923, when the Ottoman Empire was partitioned, and Clause 109 of the treaty stipulated that the 3 riparian states of the Euphrates, at the time those states were Turkey, France, and the United Kingdom, and they had to reach a mutual agreement on the use of its water and on the construction of any hydraulic installation. An agreement between Turkey and Iraq, signed in 1946, required Turkey to report to Iraq on any hydraulic changes it made on the Tigris and Euphrates river system, and allowed Iraq to construct dams on Turkish territory to manage the flow of the Euphrates. And as of 2021, news in the Middle East have been reporting severe droughts and rapidly decreased water levels, and geological experts are concerned and confused as to why this is happening. More than 5 million people in Syria directly depend on the Euphrates River, as the river is the main source of clean drinking water for the people. It also produces electricity as well as hydroelectric power for about 3 million people in Syria. But aid groups and engineers say that rising temperatures, lower rainfall, and drought across the region are gradually depriving people of drinking water and agricultural water, which this also disrupts electricity generation as dams run low and out, which in turn affects the operation of basic infrastructure, including health facilities. Farmers in Syria have been financially affected as the creeping drought affects their agricultural land, with them saying that they are thinking of leaving because there's no water left to drink or to irrigate their land with. And humanitarian groups in Syria also have indicated that 2 out of 3 drinking water stations along the river have been pumping less water or have stopped working together. Iraq also faces the same situation with the loss of access to water from the river, and the drought also threatens at least 7 million people there. The drought in both countries has been the worst in recent years. Syria has only received 50 to 70% of its normal rainfall over the past 2 years, threatening millions of people As people in both Syria and Iraq are directly dependent on the Euphrates, theories have been suggested that of weather changes or political agendas using the dams in place to restrict water access. Perhaps, though, the most interesting theory is recorded on the news or reports, but in fact in the Bible, where it says, Revelation 16, verse 12, "And the sixth angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates, and the water thereof was dried up, that the way of the kings of the east might be prepared." Interesting enough, along with that passage also includes this one. Revelations 9, verse 14, says, "Saying to the sixth angel which had the trumpet, Loose the four angels which are bound in the great river Euphrates." After reading these scriptures, one has to question, what does this mean? Interesting enough, reading from the book of Enoch, which is another scripture some argue that is directly connected with the Bible, we learn of a story during the Genesis period in which Enoch, who was a prophet before the time of Noah, spoke of living in a time in history where there were 200 angels called the Watchers, whose sole purpose was to look after mankind, and one day they looked upon human women, whether it be through the influence of the fallen angel Lucifer, or better known as the devil, or through their own free will, decided to make a pact with one another and mate with the human women, ultimately corrupting the human genome and giving birth to giants and or titans, otherwise known as the Nephilim hybrids, and later following suit during these events, having God regret even making mankind in the first place, flooded the earth of all life besides Noah and his family, because apparently Noah was pure, both spiritually and genetically. In the story, after the 200 angels corrupted mankind, God sent Uriel, Raphael, and other angels to bound the Watchers under chains of darkness and force them to witness the death of their offspring, the Nephilim. Some scholars suggest that the four angels under the Euphrates are the leaders of that original group, who God will release during the time of Revelations to kill a third of mankind, or so the story goes. Strangely enough, though, there are many stories of the soldiers who have been stationed at the Haditha Dam, which is heavily guarded by military support. There have been reports of them having odd feelings, hearing strange sound, and there is also whispers of the fallen angels. And it's said that the soldiers are often changed out frequently, due to reports of them going mad and losing their minds, to being attacked by unseen entities, and some rumors go as far as even dying out of pure fear for the ones who reportedly patrolled the lower regions of the dam, only to be found dead with no signs of injury or trauma. Whatever the case may be, the fact remains that the river is drying up, and when it does, one can only wonder, what impact will it have, and what will happen afterwards? Thanks for watching. Till next time.